Across the cold lanes of the Perseus Reach, the outpost called Kestrel stood as a test of patience and pride for every species that touched it. Humanity had built it from salvaged hulls and stubborn hope, and the station answered to no flag but. Survival Mira watched the docking lights pulse and felt the old rivalry stir, because the only other officer assigned tonight was Alan, her long-standing rival from training days and from battles, where both had learned respect without surrender. Amid shared losses and quiet triumphs, remembered by steel walls during long nights on watch together there, the Reach had a way of pressing cycles into sharp relief for non-human crews, and Mira belonged to the Sola kind whose bodies answered stress. With a phase called the Ember, a season of heightened focus warmth and risk, Alan knew the science and still bristled at the rumor that spread like static through vents that her Ember had begun, and that command had left them alone on purpose to test trust, not desire, but caution born of history and hard rules, written after wars and failures across species where lines blurred and crews paid the cost dearly so often. Humanity had earned a reputation in the Reach, not for dominance, but for restraint and problem-solving under pressure. Alan carried that banner, quietly repairing drones and recalibrating shields, while Mira managed trade traffic with a steady voice. The rivalry between them was forged in simulations where Alan favored precision and Mira favored daring, yet both trusted the other to stand fast when alarms howled through corridors that echoed with drills and history of human crews, choosing duty over impulse again and again in silent records kept by machines, and tired eyes during watches that tested resolve and bonds alike when the Ember rose. Mira felt heat like a star behind her ribs, but her discipline shaped it into clarity. She drank water, slowed breath, and logged symptoms per protocol. Alan noticed the change not with hunger, but concern, because the Ember could sharpen judgment or burn it away depending on support and isolation. The station hummed as if aware of the thin margin they walked, while bulkheads carried old human sayings about balance, grit, and shared watch that Mira repeated under her breath as a mantra taught by mentors who believed choice mattered most in every crisis faced together. A distress ping cut through routine. A freighter limped in with a cracked spine and a crew of mixed species arguing over salvage law. Mira took command voice steady. Alan worked the tugs in calculated angles. The Ember lent Mira fierce focus. She weighed lives against structure and ordered a risky brace humanity way paid off, and the freighter held without loss as cheers crossed channels and trust deepened between rivals who acted as one, while heat faded into purposeful calm earned through service, not conquest. A lesson humanity shared freely with neighbors across the Reach again tonight. In silence, after the crisis, quiet returned, and Mira logged data with shaking hands, not from want, but from release. Alan offered tea, without comment, a human custom adopted by many. He spoke of odds and models, grounding the moment. The Ember still burned, yet it no longer ruled her, because partnership proved stronger than instinct shaped by cultures. Choosing restraint over chaos when cycles threatened to divide crews, Alan respected Mira as a commander and rival without crossing lines drawn by policy, honor, and trust built in hard years on distant stations, like Kestrel standing alone between powers watching stars. The rumor mill died quickly when results spoke louder than whispers. Command cited the rescue as proof that mixed crews thrived under human frameworks. Mira faced the Ember nights with training routines and shared watch. Alan remained present, a rival turned ally by circumstance and choice. The station felt safer, not because desire vanished, but because duty held the line, reinforced by examples recorded for future crews across the Reach and beyond. Humanity learned long ago to channel fire into light rather than ruin, and shared that craft openly with rivals, friends, and strangers alike. Always during trial moments endured, Alan reflected on rivalry as a tool sharpened by respect. He and Mira argued tactics, laughed rarely, and trusted deeply. The Ember would pass cycles always did what remained was a human lesson etched into kestrel walls that survival favored those who planned, cared, and stood together when stress pressed hardest across cultures, with patience and courage, not conquest or unchecked impulse. The Reach watched and learned as small stations proved big ideas under fire, and silence Mira carried forward with calm pride, born of service and rivalry, refined by shared nights on watch among stars without fear of fire. The Ember ended with dawn cycles cooling. Mira felt clear and rested. Alan logged the final reports. Exchanged a nod, rivalry intact, but tempered. The title of the incident read simply, Kestrel Rescue, and beneath it a note from Command praising human frameworks. The Reach gained another quiet proof that humanity endured by choosing restraint, unity, and resolve over impulse, fear, and division. A path walked again tonight by rivals, turned partners on a lonely station, holding the line together for neighbors and strangers who would arrive tomorrow, trusting the lights to guide them safely home. Through darkness ahead, stories traveled faster than ships, and soon crews spoke of Kestrel as a place where cycles were met with care. Alan trained new arrivals on protocols, while Mira mentored officers on calm command. Rivalry became fuel, not flame. Humanity did not deny biology or stress. It built rails to guide them across uncertainty, using shared values learned in hardship and practice. The Reach took note quietly, as humans offered methods, not edicts. Cooperation over control, always tested, always refined by rivals like Mira and Alan, standing watch together through long nights under patient stars, far from home, yet united still. Mira never forgot the Ember lesson, that strength grew when acknowledged and guided. Alan never forgot that rivalry sharpened ethics when framed by trust. Together they wrote training notes that spread beyond Kestrel. Humanity way moved like a tide, quiet, steady, shaping shores without breaking them through patience, science, and shared duty. The Reach responded with openness, sending crews to learn and adapt. Rivalry recast as mutual challenge, not hunger or dominance, a human idea. Catching on amid stars and stations, where cycles returned, always met with care and firm lines drawn for safety, not fear ever. Again they hoped. Years later, Kestrel hosted a summit. Mira, older, steadier, welcomed delegates. Alan coordinated defenses. The story of the Ember Night was shared as case study, not scandal. Humanity pride rested on methods, not myths. The Reach listened, because results spoke and lives were saved across borders and differences. Rivalry, framed as engine for growth, found favor among cautious powers who valued stability over spectacle and force. Humanity stood quietly confident, offering tools, not chains, patience, not pressure, unity, not erasure of difference, across species and cycles, under shared stars, watched by many, learning slowly from example rather than decree alone. Alan and Mira remained rivals, friendly, sharp, always honest. Their story was never about desire, but about heat turned into light. The Ember became a footnote. Humanity method, the headline. Kestrel kept humming, a small place where big choices were made daily by crews who trusted systems built on care, science, and duty. Rivalry stayed a spark, not a blaze, shaped by policy and respect. Humanity way endured across frontiers, without shouting, proving strength through restraint again and again. As cycles came and went under watchful eyes of many worlds, choosing trust over fear every time they stood together firm. The Reach remembered Kestrel as proof that humanity thrived by design, not accident. Heat, stress, rivalry, all were faced openly, guided by rules, empathy, and shared goals. Mira and Alan embodied that ethic. Rivals who chose care. The station lights burned steady through countless nights, marking safe harbor for many. Humanity's story spread without force through action, example, and patience. The Ember footnote remained useful, a reminder of cycles and the by rails built to guide them. Rivalry honored boundaries, duty honored lives. Together they endured under patient stars, watching cycles pass with calm resolve and hope for tomorrow, always earned. In the end, the story was simple. She was in heat became. A lesson, not a lure. Humanity chose rails over chaos, rivals over isolation. Kestrel endured, Alan and Mira kept watch. The Reach kept learning, and the stars kept turning through patient nights and careful days. Humanity way persisted, carried by crews who trusted systems and each other. Rivalry remained a tool sharpened by respect. The Ember remained a cycle guided by care. Kestrel remained a light in the Reach, watched by many, learned by more, lived by some, always quietly proving humanity at its best under stress together. Records archived the event without drama, yet crews remembered the calm voices, the shared watch, the rival hands working in sync. Humanity legacy grew not by conquest, but by moments like these repeated across stations, where cycles met care and rivals chose duty over impulse. The Reach benefited from steady examples and adopted methods suited to many cultures. Humanity listened, adapted, refined rails, continually rivalry, kept edges sharp, care kept them safe. Kestrel stood witness to choices made under pressure by tired crews, choosing light over fire, again, across years and distances, always together when it mattered most all. Mira retired eventually. Alan taught cadets. The Ember lesson lived on as protocol. Humanity pride rested easy, knowing biology was not denied, but guided. The Reach grew calmer for it, and stations like Kestrel became symbols of quiet strength. Rivalry remained welcome as a measure of skill, not